by
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 18th day of September 2025. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Muhammad Mugalun Sign Language Interpretation. We do welcome you this evening. Now, before we delve into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight.
brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Top stories tonight. Police briefs media on security alertness during the presidential nominations. President Museveni welcomes report on cattle compensation in Teso. Uganda, China sign new defense pact in Beijing, China. And government commits working on striking teachers' demands.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Good evening once again. Now, in our top story tonight, President Yoweri Museveni has emphasized the call for dialogue and consensus if Uganda is to move forward. Museveni urges fellow political actors to avoid mistakes that may compromise the country's stability, calling for peaceful expression of different points of view. The president was speaking during the summit of the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, where he also explained the delayed increment of arts teachers' salaries, a matter raised by UPC President Jimmy Akena. We have more.
The national anthem and the East Africa anthem. May we all remain upstanding and prepare to officially commence.
We shall succeed, and we have been able to move, as we have seen. In the last 40 years almost, the NLM has been able to revive the economy of Uganda, and although we have still problems, but we are much stronger than we had ever been before. So that's the number one. Correct understanding of the society. But secondly, if you have a different understanding, at least don't be violent. Don't use violence. Don't use subversion. Like the members here were saying, yes, they have got their different points of view, but let them express them peacefully, and then we see whether we agree or disagree. Now, when you have got a right understanding and you act right, then things will move. The country will be peaceful. But even if you have got a wrong understanding, but you are not violent, you don't act wrongly, yes, you will make mistakes, but the country will remain stable, and in the future, those mistakes will be understood and corrected. Now, the disaster in Africa is that people have got wrong understanding, but also use wrong methods. They are wrong on all accounts. They don't understand correctly, and they act wrongly, using wrong tactics, violence, subversion, cheating. This is the crisis you get in these countries. This is why Uganda here was in chaos. I don't have time to go into all that. And IPOD is not a center for parties try to justify themselves. We shall have time for that. But because of all those mistakes, that's why you get chaos in Africa. Because even if you make a mistake, but if the country remains peaceful, in the future it will be corrected and you will have where to start from. But when you are wrong understanding, wrong methods, that's how you get this total breakdown like we have seen in so many of the countries.
To the National Chairman of NRM for chairing IPOD for a very long time.
The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Byakagaba, has cautioned the public of disinformation and misinformation that might risk the country's peace during the forthcoming general elections of 2026. The IGP was addressing the country on the force's readiness to police the next week's nominations of the presidential candidates. The Electoral Commission scheduled the 23rd and 24th of September 2025 as days for the nominations. IGP highlights the potential risk of spreading inaccurate information which is capable of inciting violence.
The nominations will be followed by campaigns across the country. Uganda Police Force has undertaken deliberate measures towards securing the general elections. I want to encourage all political actors and citizens to exercise their rights responsibly and to respect the rights of others. The laws of the country are not in abeyance during the electoral process. All political activities must be within the confines of the law. We remind the public that acts of electoral malpractice and activities that contravene traffic regulations, inciting violence, hooliganism, computer misuse, destruction of property, and spreading false information will not be tolerated. I urge all Ugandans to be ambassadors of peace, resist manipulation by individuals or groups who may seek to use you as instruments of violence. Your positive energy and creativity should be channeled towards building a better future. Uganda has achieved sustained peace and is making progress in socio-economic transformation in the lives of the people. I want to call upon all Ugandans and those whose responsibility it is to relay information to observe accurate and respectful reporting. Avoid disinformation and misinformation. Once again, Uganda Police Force reaffirms its responsibility to safeguard the electoral process by working collaboratively with all stakeholders.
President Museveni has endorsed recommendations from a consultation report on cattle compensation in the Teso sub-region, describing them as realistic, inclusive and transformative. The president made the remarks during a meeting with the selective committee led by Vice President Her Excellency Jessica Alupo. The committee included members of parliament, cultural leaders and religious figures who had consulted widely across Teso following concerns about corruption and inefficiency in the ongoing cattle compensation program. The consultations affirmed President Museveni's proposal for a uniform restocking plan of 5 cows per household in Teso. The sub-region comprises of 12 districts with an estimated 489,000 households, according to the 2024 National Population and Housing Census. Then President Museveni backed the plan and also acknowledged the potential challenges with polygamous households. Her Excellency Alupo told the President that the consultations were conducted comprehensively and without incident. She commended the contribution of cultural leaders, whom she described as resourceful in shaping the final report. The cultural leaders in attendance echoed her sentiments. Papa Emormor Paul Sande and Papa Kumam Raphael Otaya expressed gratitude to President Museveni for involving traditional institutions in national development initiatives and pledged to continue collaboration with the government to promote social and economic transformation. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, has commended Huawei, a Chinese technology company, for exposing Ugandans to a digital era. The Prime Minister says the company has so far trained 8,000 Ugandans equipped with ICT knowledge in rural areas. The Premier was meeting the multi-country regional CEO of Huawei for Eastern Africa at her office in Kampala.
Huawei is a Chinese information and communication technology company operating in over 170 countries, including Uganda. The company has stayed in Uganda for over 2 decades. Today, the multi-country regional CEO of Huawei for Eastern Africa, Eric Dong, paid a courtesy call to the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, at our office in Kampala.
Then I want to inform you that our President, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, requested me to inform you that the bilateral relations between Uganda and China are cordial. And so we want to thank you for investing in our country. Ethiopia is now a middle-income country, not because of the people of Ethiopia, but because of partners, especially the investors from China. So we have an open door policy for investment. Bring as many investors as possible so that we can develop our country together.
Dong informed the Prime Minister that Huawei has greatly contributed to Uganda's GDP with an annual contribution of about $11 million.
Over the past 5 years, we have paid an average of $11 million in tax annually. And our proportion of local employees have already increased from 10% to 80% recently. With more than 30 our local staff members serving as a supervisor or hosting the key positions.
He said over 20,000 Ugandans have since benefited from Huawei digital training program.
Huawei have already trained about more than 20,000 students through the ICT economy, and 8,000 through our digital track program, as before you said. Yes, and also we have 100 ICT students, at least for the Seeds for the Future program.
We have given Uganda this opportunity to showcase their talents at regional and global levels. I remember you even took 2 from Kakumiro. They will never forget themselves. Yes. The digital track, you have been under digital track, you have trained over 8,000 people in rural areas, including Kakumiro in ICT. And I know you have a target to increase the number to 10,000 by December. So this is his new role. Under the Digital Smart Village, I have been informed that you have established a pilot solar mini grid in Buhadio village in Butareja, and so far 25 families are connected to solar power.
The Prime Minister encouraged her visitors to persuade more investors into Uganda, since Uganda has the best investment climate.
The number of reasons why Uganda is the best investment destination. One of them is the natural wealth. Uganda is gifted by God with fertile soils. We have abundant natural or freshwater bodies, including the source of the Nile. My brother there, the Matoke eater. Yes, he will tell you that Uganda is a peaceful country by all standards, and is one of the most peaceful countries and secure countries in the region. Uganda is now one of the fastest growing economies in the world. IMF ranked us number 7.
The meeting was also attended by the Minister for Information and National Guidance in charge of ICT, Godfrey Kabyanga.
They have been here for 24 years, just as they have told you. And our national backbone is actually using Huawei technology.
ABC News Tonight now in relation to the summit of the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue that happened in Kololo today. Several reactions remain as to whether the agreed commitments are to be achieved. Here are the reactions.
We shall also have group photos of the members from.
This signing ceremony, held briefly after a closed-door session of IPOD leaders, exhibits commitment to action dedicated to fulfilling obligations of enhancing the political stability of Uganda.
And the event is also being witnessed by the Secretaries General.
As the IPOD members gathered for the 4th summit at Kololo ceremonial grounds, the challenges affecting the political space have seemingly remained recurring.
Issue of political prisoners was agreed that all of them should be released. In fact, I don't agree with the demanding for certain statements, because it is a right to belong to a political party, and nobody should be persecuted, arrested, harassed and detained because of his political divergence.
The environment brought together 6 political parties with representation in parliament under one big tent, with the question as to whether dialogue is a solution to the recurring problems in the political landscape of Uganda. In return, has also been the Forum for Democratic Change, which had previously boycotted several events.
We disagreed during the course, the way things were moving. That's why we stepped aside on only the summit. But we are participating all through the other processes. So whoever says if this returned is just very poor in history.
Look at the country in the present and in the future. In the photo moment, the engagements, all these are part of processes that entail such summits. And world over, you'll have photo moments in the UN, you'll have photo moments in the African Union, and you can't take it away. But what is most important, fundamentally, is people who disagree to come together and say, we can have our disagreements on principle, on policy.
The 2025 summit locked out the National Unity Platform Party despite having the qualification to be in IPOD.
And we were made to understand, that NUP is not a member of IPOD. So it's not for the Electoral Commission, it is up to NUP and IPOD to sort themselves out.
We realize that the issue of boycotting may not take us far away. You know, when the member of IPOD, we have more than 7 parties involved in the IPOD. You as an individual party, you are boycotting. My friend, alone as an individual, you'll never go far. If you want to go far, work together with others. But if you want to stop nearer, just go alone. You will get tired, you will break and you will collapse.
In May 2025, Parliament amended the Political Parties and Organisation Act to include IPOD among the organs under the National Consultative Forum, conditioning funds from the Consolidated Fund to only parties subscribing to IPOD.
To me, the fact that these political parties can, which are represented in Parliament, can get together right now, like now, to have a summit under the IPOD auspices. I think it spells well for the country.
So all the political parties have called unity to work together to see that we take Uganda forward. Secondly, to see a socio-economic transformation, changing the lives of our people, especially the peasants, because as you've heard, the president talked about it and the president of other parties.
The Secretary General of the NRM acknowledged what he described as broad challenges since the NRM took to the steering wheel of IPOD, but how best will the new DP leadership prevail? Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Daniel Mugoya for that report. Uganda and China have strengthened their defense cooperation through high-level talks between the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and his Chinese counterpart, General Liu Zhenli. During his visit to Beijing, General Muhoozi held discussions aimed at deepening military ties between the two nations. The talks are part of Uganda's broader efforts to solidify defense partnerships with key allies. The discussions centered on key pillars of the existing relationship, including advanced military training, peace support operations, and enhanced defense diplomacy. General Kainerugaba, who also serves as the senior presidential advisor for special operations, was received by General Liu Zhenli, the chief of the Joint Staff Department of China's Central Military Commission, at the Chinese military headquarters. During the meeting, General Kainerugaba and his counterparts reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the long-standing military partnership between the two nations' militaries. The talks culminated in the two generals presiding over the signing of a landmark bilateral military agreement. The pact aims to solidify defense cooperation, paving the way for increased exchanges in professional military education, joint training exercises, and technology transfer. The Ugandan delegation, comprising of Major General Dan Kakono, the Artillery Division Commander, and Major General Felix Busizori, 4th Infantry Division Commander, met with a senior Chinese delegation of top military generals and officers from the People's Liberation Army. The Prime Minister, Robin Nabbanja, has emphasized the need to enhance efforts to achieve the objectives of the Tourism Development Program, including marketing and infrastructure development, in order to boost tourism as a key sector to the growth of the economy. Now, this was revealed at the annual performance review of the 3rd Annual Tourism Development Program Review for financial year 2024-25.
Uganda's tourism sector continues to make strong recovery from the pandemic in 2024, with international arrivals rising by 7.7% from 1.3 million in 2023 to 1.4 million.
There's a remarkable increase in the percentage of leisure tourists. 2023 it was 16%, and 2024 they rose to 19%.
And the Tourism Development Program Review for 2024-2025 financial year, 90% of tourists came from Africa, growing domestic tourism by 5.2%.
Uganda received about 466,000 visitors from Kenya, followed closely by Rwanda with about 390,000 visitors.
As tourism have been asked to grow our foreign exchange earnings to US $50 billion over the same period. We will achieve this by investing in modern tourism infrastructure, by diversifying our tourism products.
With overall performance at 61%, the Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja re-echoed the objectives of the program, like improved infrastructure and inbound tourism, well inclined in placing Uganda as the preferred tourist destination.
We have ensured that NDP 4 focuses on addressing the obstacles to tourism development. The plan deliberately directs public investments in the areas that will improve the enabling environment for tourism business to flourish. Developing competitive tourism products, deploying skilled personnel along the tourism value chain, and ensuring that we have high quality tourism services.
The sector still faces challenges around inadequate funding and poor infrastructure to tourism sites.
We pushed for more decentralization of tasks, responsibilities to the local governments. But as we decentralize, we are also requesting for decentralization of resources. Because when you decentralize functions without resources, then we are unable to deliver.
Tourism is one of the vital sectors in the National Development Plan 4 to achieving the 10-fold growth strategy by 2040. Cayenne Faith, reporting for UBC.
The Ministry of Public Service has issued a stern warning to government teachers insisting on the industrial strike. The Minister, Wilson Muluri Mukasa, says Cabinet resolved to increase teachers' salaries in the next financial year of 2025-26. Teachers who will hesitate to heed to government plea risk dismissal from the service.
The Minister for Public Service, Wilson Muluri Mukasa, has revealed government engagements with the teachers' bodies for several occasions in relation to their pay rise demand.
We also agreed that we are going to work together, the unions and the teachers, to ensure that the commitment to pay enhancement is incorporated in the financial year 25-26, 26-27, and we shall continue enhancing in phases until we reach the 77% mark of the agreed long-term pay targets.
Government expressed dismay of how teachers demanded pay rise with immediate effect, which is inappropriate with government procedures.
Actually, the Ministry of Public Service received a notice in a letter from UNATO demanding that government must enhance the salary of all teachers in primary and post-primary schools and education institutions. And indeed, the entire government must heed to this demand with immediate effect.
The Minister of Public Service acknowledges teachers' concern as valid and asks for more time as it follows the pay rise target, which commenced in the 2028-2019 financial year and is being implemented in a phased manner.
I'm proud to say that government has been fulfilling its commitment towards a pay rise. And for us, the policy is all public officers should be paid a competitive, enhanced salary, but in a phased manner. And we have been fulfilling this since we agreed in 2018-2019 that this should be so. We have been consistent.
Government is pleading to teachers to go back to class with immediate effect, and failure to do so, all teachers are likely to face dismissal or abscondment.
If you don't go back to teach, then it will mean you are no longer interested in the job. And you will have dismissed yourself. Yes, you will have dismissed yourself, and then action will be taken to fill your gap.
According to the government academic calendar, the third term commenced on the 15th of September 2025. However, all teachers in public schools, especially arts teachers, called for an industrial strike until government heed to their demand of pay rise with immediate effect. Abdu Nasiri Lubwama and Regan Ahumza for UBC.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return with more stories after these messages.
big think about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News Tonight. In more news this evening, the National Resistance Movement has held primary elections for the youth members of parliament across the country in 151 NRM districts. In Kampala, NRM National Vice Chairperson for Kampala, Salim Uhuru, says the elections were largely peaceful with no violence witnessed, and an approach, he says, should be adopted for future SEC and special interest group party elections. The results of the elections have not yet been announced by the NRM electoral commissioners.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In Kampala, the 5 divisions of Kampala Central, Nakawa, Kawempe, Rubaga and Makindye served as polling stations. Delegates in Kampala Central voted in Nakasero and the exercise was described as peaceful. NRM National Vice Chairperson for Kampala, Salim Yohuru, commended the exercise, saying the same approach should be applied to future SEC and special interest group elections.
Number one, you very well know why we decided to have it at district level. We can handle 15-20 people. That is very manageable. The police is here, the military is here to make sure to vote you must be accredited, and by accredited is your name. You're going to read you by your name. So when they read your name, you go there. So it is easy to manage, and I can assure you this has been the best idea we ever brought as SEC in day one meeting.
In Busia district, the elections kicked off on time and ended peacefully. Speaking to UBC reporters after the exercise, the NRM youth chairperson said the election was free and fair, unlike previous exercises at Kololo.
The reasons why maybe the elections were halted, it was maybe we were not familiar or much satisfied with what had been declared earlier on.
21, 22, 23.
In Kasese, the elections were delayed due to the late arrival of delegates. The polls were eventually held at about 3 p.m. and concluded peacefully. In Mukono, the youth elections started on time at 10 a.m. with a roll call of delegates before voting. No violence was reported. The NRM returning officer for Arua City, Tom Amagu, said they worked hand in hand with other authorities to ensure peaceful elections.
The DPC and the Teso. So I want to thank them very much for that kind of cooperation that they are doing with the NRM.
The 34 delegates in Arua applauded the party for agreeing to conduct fresh elections.
And the respect the youth are trying to accord is so much pleased that I am very happy.
And my appeal is that as those who are going to the parliament, let them continue to use the structures that have enabled them to pass.
Although many candidates withdrew from the race, the youth elections recorded 11 aspirants picking nomination forms in the central region, 14 in the western region, 12 in the northern region, and 18 in the eastern region. Meanwhile, 6 candidates contested for National Youth Members of Parliament under the female category. Joan Murungi, Philip Aguta, UBC News. Kampala.
The National Unity Platform, NUP president and flag bearer in next year's presidential elections, has announced a rally in Katwe immediately after his nomination with the Electoral Commission on Tuesday next week. Speaking at a press conference at the NUP headquarters in Makere Kavule, he condemned remarks by the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao, who last week dismissed NUP as scaremongering, ignorant and unwilling to negotiate, calling it dangerous for the country.
On Tuesday this week, Minister Norbert Mao, while addressing a press conference, criticized NUP for refusing to engage in the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, IPOD, accusing them of being unwilling to negotiate and a threat to national stability. The NUP leader described Mao's comments as reckless and unfair, insisting that his party remains the strongest opposition force in Uganda and a vehicle for change. He urged his supporters to remain brave and unwavering in the struggle, while advising those undecided not to stick with them.
In Uganda they call it a Mandwa Yawanika. But Mao, and thanks to him, he came finally and gave credence to what has been spoken for so many years, that indeed we have some fake opposition amongst us. Don't him saying this is going to be a silent election. You're joking, my brother. We shall speak, we shall shout, we shall scream. Yes, he said he's going to silence us. I want to tell you, Norbert Mao, personally, I will only be silent in my grave.
At today's press conference in Makere Kavule, NUP leaders including Honorable Frank Kabuye and Honorable Betty Naluyima expressed solidarity with Kyagulanyi and pledged support during his nomination next week.
Stand and support our president. This nomination will be the first step or the milestone we are going to put in the struggle.
And our flag bearer, President Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, will be nominating next week, and we are determined
I want to call upon the people of Kyadondo, the people of Uganda.
NUP Secretary General David Lewis Rubongoya, leader of opposition Joel Senyonyi and party spokesperson explained why the party did not attend today's iPod conference.
So we took a stand and said we are not going to join the company, and also gave other reasons why we could not join that entity, which in our view was illegal and not binding on anybody.
You conscripted us forcibly within the law to say that we are now members of iPod. That's why we are saying, can we know, what are you guys doing? Where are those regulations? Honorable Mao, you're very busy running around saying too many things.
The NUP president reaffirmed that after his nomination on Tuesday, he will hold a grand rally at Katwe Stadium and later address supporters in Natete.
It is all beginning on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the 23rd. I will be nominated to represent the National Unity Platform to run for president of Uganda. Museveni is also nominating on the same day, and his party has planned a rally in Kololo, which is right, which is well within the law. We are also going to have our nomination rally in Katwe.
The NUP Electoral Management Committee also continued its vetting process for parliamentary aspirants, now in its 4th day, focusing on candidates from Greater Mpigi, Karamoja and Bunyoro.
As an internal party program, and I'm sure, based on my leadership that I've tried to offer in the past 5 years, I'm sure I'll be given the mandate to go and represent my people on the NUP ticket.
I've never known it this tough. All my life I've never faced interviews because I've not been a job-seeking person. I've been an activist. So I'm not used to be questioned. Large, I gave them a very good answer, as you expect from me, as you expect from a deputy president. Given a card, I have a brand that is not easily defeatable in that area.
UP, people power, our power. This is Twesige Dennis, Honorable Hoima East. Tugume Alan Clifford, Omunyabuga here, Akuruga Kitoba Kiabasengia Kiriangobe.
Joseph Chigozigola, Jamil Sekaja, UBC, Kampala.
UBC News Tonight. Now today, UBC Television took a tour of Entebbe International Airport to assess how the upgrade and expansion contributing to the growing numbers of passengers and the opening of the new airline routes impacting the transformation and development of the aviation industry. Fred Bamwesije, the Director General, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, gives accountability on how the new developments at the airport are boosting the aviation sector in the country. Take a look.
Entebbe International Airport is changing its face, which is an indicator to the new developments put in place to ensure that the aviation sector takes center stage in generating revenue to the country from both passenger and cargo pass. Some of the factors that lead to the increasing passenger traffic at Entebbe International Airport, among others, include the stability of the country as a destination and increased economic activities, among others.
Aviation is about safety and security of passengers. There is even another factor called sustainability. Once we are certified to be compliant with those two areas using ICAO scale, then there is renewed confidence in the aviation system of a country, and everyone would confidently be choosing Uganda as a destination.
Uganda Civil Aviation Authority UCAA is making all efforts to ensure that all passengers in the airports are facilitated very well through expanding and modernizing the facilities to ensure comfortability of the passengers and other airport users. The opening of new routes to other countries like Uganda Airlines being home airline contributes to steady progress of the sector in terms of revenue collected from the aviation industry, since passengers are now using direct routes.
Both as an airline, it demands for more equipment, more aircrafts, but in the airport it would demand for more space, more facilities, and actually facilities both at expansion but also for comfort.
The upgrade and expansion of Entebbe International Airport in the last 4 years and other airports upcountry is yet another contribution reached out by Uganda Civil Aviation Authority UCAA, where they can now handle passengers in the region. According to Bamwesiji, there is a lot of works being done at the airport, which include a resealing of the runway, ground lighting of the runway, and revolutionization of internal systems to digitize them, which the public may not easily recognize. Alongside the new terminal, there are more 3 boarding bridges which will make the passengers with disabilities be facilitated in the aircraft as they register, more automated check-in points and information displays, which is transforming the airport as some of the innovations put in place.
I can check what is happening at the security screening point. I can check what immigration officers are doing. I can check what the air traffic control people are doing here on this screen. So it is very, very easy to do that. But all these are investments.
The completion of the 100,000 square meter cargo terminal that fits with modern systems of cargo storage and handling both export and import cargo has increased the number cargo in and out of the country, thus plans to increase cargo center to foster import and export.
But ever since we got it, cargo has increased to the next thing, because now like in July, we handled cargo 5,800 metric tons. It is warning us actually that cargo center is not going to be enough going forward. In fact, we should look for more money and start investing again in building another cargo center of the same size. So we are always on the move. There is no day, both passenger facility requirements, but also cargo. And what is this type of cargo? Both export and import cargo. And remember, we built that cargo center to facilitate our exports, mainly our exports, which is agricultural exports, and is of course perishable.
In terms of compliance systems with ICAO safety and security audits, UCAA has put in place mechanisms which will improve the audit scores. That's the effective implementation scores, where in 2023, safety scored 72.4% and security scored 81.6%. UCAA working towards developing upcountry aerodromes to enable tourists and investors to have access to far areas to boost the aviation sector.
Many people who come through Entebbe here are actually continuing to upcountry areas. There are those, of course, who remain here for business, but the majority, the statistics show that the majority are tourists, and tourists go up to upcountry areas. So our upcountry airports also need to be developed at the same pace. But because we don't have all the money, we are developing a few.
Meanwhile, UCAA boss clarifies on the ongoing social media rumors about unqualified employees recruited. He says disciplinary action has been taken against purported employees, and UCAA condemns such acts.
Because if someone brings a report that UCAA has 152 people with forged certificates, and nobody is even talking about them, they are being protected and so on, anyone in the higher levels will feel concerned. So, but they did not tell them a story of how we initiated it and how we were handling it. So the letter came at the same time, the concern of His Excellency the President came at the same time when we were actually almost reaching the end of this exercise. Yes.
So as we talk now, what is the stand on the ground?
The stand on the ground is that we subjected them to our thorough disciplinary process and of course meted out punishments that are within the terms and conditions of service, and they are not here right now.
However, there are a number of challenges associated in the due course affecting the smooth operation of the airport, which sometimes inconveniences aviation users at the airport, which gives negative feedbacks from the public.
The challenges are that we are building, we are expanding, we are modernizing, at the same time operating. So there is a level of inconvenience to our airport users. In fact, aviation users, not just. So sometimes we are not understood when a lift at times is closed, is put out of order, out of service rather, and then you are required maybe to use the lift steps. Some passengers, some people think that probably the world has come to an end, and we get sometimes comments or treatment that is not really palatable. at times. But that happens when you continue to operate. Otherwise, we would have closed completely. First, how can you close an airport? You cannot. So there are those challenges. The other one is that we are working within a tight budget.
Basing on its master plan, UCAA opts to increase passenger numbers in the next 5 years to 7.6 million passengers, calling upon the government to continue to improve and expand the facilities to accommodate the growing numbers. Bamwesije remains optimistic as there is a lot of positive impacts that aviation can bring to the economy of the country once it is prioritized as a strategic sector for investment.
nateranga nyingiro ne banafa ba MTN wanje MTN walalo MTN gamba chi to get the power to win njagalo ofune lyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ocha ngenda kubanga bobukade 10 buli wiki wanje ngenda kubanga kwasa obukade 10 buli wiki kusimu ye nyinyi chabonka chimuchoka line ya MTN banabeka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula nja kwese momo mubulira buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo wenzo kwanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abwe MTN we jamani ne kwa bukade 10 buli wiki wala kastejo bimala bwe pa wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntode nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasana benesi okuberanga mwana wote koze bitu no manga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Ready to transform your commutes? Embrace a greener, more affordable way to travel and promise of agile entrepreneurship with e-mobility. The future is here. E-mobility is tackling today's most daunting challenges. See it in action at the National E-mobility Expo 2025, September 18th to 19th at the Kira Vehicle Plant in Jinja. Head to our digital channels and follow the link www.neme.kiramotors.com to register.
Coffee Spirit, Simba G.
Coffee Spirit, Simba G. Check on down the cup. SMS the code. Wamure virabo. Tulaga manyi. Karuka sita wabuza.
Masaba maji.
Bikole Masavu ne Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
For 40 years, your trust has been our most valuable investment.
We have turned your savings into investments, delivering returns that grow with you.
We are driven by innovation, defined by convenience. So wherever life takes you, your fund is right there.
Mommy, look. Because we are in the business of changing lives today and shaping tomorrow.
Join us for the 13th annual members meeting.
Happening 22nd September 2025, starting at 9 a.m. live on TV and online to discover a steadfast performance guided by accountability and built on transparency. Visit www.nssfug.org/AMM 2025 to register your attendance. NSSF, a better life.
Welcome back from that break, and now into business. The second edition of the National E-Mobility Expo has officially kicked off in Jinja, with calls from various stakeholders urging Ugandans to embrace electric mobility. The two-day event, taking place at Chiramoto's vehicle manufacturing plant in Jinja, is a collaborative effort designed to accelerate Uganda's transition to electric mobility. Under the theme, Empowering Innovation and Accelerating Industrialization and Shaping Africa's Green Future, the second National E-Mobility Expo 2025 has attracted a wide range of stakeholders, all showcasing innovative products and solutions aimed at driving the e-mobility revolution in Uganda and across Africa. The State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Honorable Nambozo Florence, toured the plant to critically witness how the manufacturing takes place.
Because we are looking at the whole ecosystem where we are doing away with fumes that come from fuels that are not healthy for our systems. And we are going into where you don't see. When I came in, I asked the DD, do I have a notebook? He said no. We are doing E. So we don't have littering here. So it is a good thing for us to take on a new space where there is a different language, but that has been with us already. We are only getting into reality of the same. Because when the president emphasizes sciences, it doesn't mean he's against the arts. But come and see what trend we are moving into right now. The spaces we are talking about now.
It's important for people who are buying vehicles that as we move on, this country is going E. Stop buying vehicles that are petrol driven. Reduce and move towards electric cars.
Over the past few years, Uganda has made significant strides in advancing its e-mobility agenda. By 2024, the country had invested over $180 million into the sector, with a target of producing 10,000 electric vehicles annually. Kira Motors, a key player in Uganda's e-mobility journey, now boasts 28 local suppliers and plans to increase this number to over 60% of vehicle parts sourced locally by 2030.
It is critical for everybody, all the ministries, to start purchasing products made by Kira Motors, because we must give it a best demand. It is that best demand that is going to improve the financial decisions of this company and then also attract foreign financing.
Intentional. And when we talk about supply chain localization, it's not just about Kira Motors Corporation. We are also looking at the two-wheelers, the three-wheelers, the four-wheelers, all up to the buses.
Lydia Chomkama for UBC News.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Honorable Fred Biamukama, Minister of State for Works and Transport in charge of transport, invites you to the second phase of the 4-acre model campaign in Greater Bunyoro sub-region. The event will take place at Nalweyo Primary School Playground, Behimba Road, on Saturday 20th September 2025 at 10 a.m. and will be graced by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. All residents, civil servants and leaders from the districts that make up Greater Hoima, Greater Masindi, Greater Chibale, and neighboring areas are encouraged to attend in large numbers. This initiative, led by the President, aims to bring ordinary people into the money economy by showcasing farmers who have succeeded in the 1-acre model, 2-acre model, 3-acre model, and 4-acre model. Join local leaders and residents in learning how small land can be used to enhance food security and socio-economic growth. Don't miss this opportunity to witness the transformative impact on local communities.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the world of sports. The National Council of Sports Assistant General Secretary Milton Chebet has rallied the private sector to embrace the act of sponsoring Uganda's sports federations. This was during the flag-off ceremony for Uganda Cycling Association's national team to Rwanda for the UCI Road World and Para Cycling Championship.
A contingent of 11 national team riders from Uganda Cycling Association's national team has been flagged off to Rwanda for the UCI Road World and Paracycling Championship that starts on Sunday for a week in Rwanda for the first time in Africa.
We stay focused, carry our flag high, and we want medals. As somebody has said, please don't just go there, and we want medals. Right now we are looking at you coming back home with the medals.
The flag-off ceremony was graced by National Council of Sports Assistant General Secretary Milton Chebet, whose address implored private sports to partner with sports federations and associations.
Our call as government is also to the private partners to come in and join, because government alone cannot do it to the tune that we need.
The team is headlined by Olympian Charles Kajimu, who will contest the LI 264.6 kilometer category and includes under 23s Lawrence Lorot, Arafat Chemori and Shafiq Mugalu, who compete 111 kilometers.
I've raced world champs for 2 years. This is my 3rd year now. So I'm really ready for it because I've been training, I had it in my mind.
In the under-18 category, Paul Miro, Atim Kagaba and Michael Lobo will contest the 74 kilometers event, while Trinata Namtebi will be the sole Ugandan in the elite women 164.6 kilometers event. Uganda Cycling Association President Muwonge Mahaba applauded government for its input and confirmed the team's readiness.
We are very ready to take part. The challenge we have that this time we can miss the individual time trial because the bicycle Kazimoto has been using from the Ineos is not to have that bicycle.
The women's under-23 race will have 3 Ugandans, Mary Alepa, Florence Nakagwa and Miriam Nantume.
I'm ready for the World Champs. I've given a lot of time. I've trained for it. I'm very ready.
Personally, I'm ready for the races, and I'll be participating in the mixed relay race and the road race.
And with that, we come to the end of our first edition of UBC News Tonight, but do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition with much more stories. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Mohammed Mugalu. We will see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UCUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UCSAF, and we're happy that UCSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Check under the cup. SMS the code. Wamule virabo. Tulaga manyi. Karuka sita wabuza.
Masaba maji. Masaba maji.
Bikole Masavu ne Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.